stranger crept closer to T.A.V.A.D., her presence shrouded in an aura of enigma. T.A.V.A.D. released the armor from the power of the gods and stands completely naked in the training field, surrounded by the skulls of the dead prisoners. Grimacing with pain, pulled the arrow from his side, the shaft slick with his own blood. His voice resonated with a mixture of annoyance and concern as he addressed the approaching figure.
Krona, how many times do I have to tell you not to interfere when I'm having fun?
As T.A.V.A.D.'s eldest daughter, Krona, drew nearer, the moonlight caught the gleam of her sly grin, a reflection of her mischievous nature. She shrugged off her father's reproach, her voice tinged with a hint of playful rebellion.
Forgive me, Father, but Uncle sent a message about his arrival, and that's why I came.
T.A.V.A.D.'s brow furrowed, a mixture of frustration and concern etched across his weathered face. He knew well the impulsive nature of his daughter, a reflection of his own fiery spirit. Relenting, he sighed deeply and spoke with a weary resignation.
Yet, Krona, you'll interfere with me again. There'll be consequences.
Krona nodded, her eyes glinting mischievously as she acknowledged her father's cautionary words.
I know.
T.A.V.A.D., unable to suppress a small smile, placed a hand on his daughter's shoulder, his touch filled with both affection and a silent understanding.
Go then, Krona. Find your brother and bring him to the castle. Gideon's arrival demands our presence, and I trust you to fulfill your duty.
With a nod, Krona turned and vanished into the shadows, her lithe figure blending seamlessly with the darkness. T.A.V.A.D. watched her go, a mix of pride and concern swelling within him. The weight of their lineage, their responsibilities, hung heavy in the air as they prepared to face the Gideon and the unknown challenges that awaited them in the darkening realm they called home. Krona rides through the training field under the rain towards the Temple of Knowledge. She dismounts her horse and, gathering her wet hair, enters the temple. Walking through the corridor adorned with paintings of T.A.V.A.D. and unknown strange ones, Krona slowly enters one of the rooms and leans in the doorway, observing what is happening. In the chambers of the Temple of Knowledge, where warm rays of light blend with shadows, the old and wise priest Sero sits on a stone throne. Mysteries of the ages surround him, and his wise eyes penetrate the depths of time. Standing beside him is a boy named Carey, Krona's brother. Only 10 years old, but already filled with curiosity and thirst for knowledge. His blonde hair is neatly arranged, and his bright eyes gleam with intellect despite his young age. His fair skin is generously adorned with golden spots of sunlight, creating a unique appearance. Krona's footsteps echoed through the grand halls of the temple as she made her way towards the revered figure of teacher Sero. Her posture was respectful, her head bowed in deference to the elder. The atmosphere in the room shifted as Krona spoke, her voice carrying a sense of urgency and obligation.
Teacher Sero, Father requests the presence of the little one.
Sero's expression registered surprise, a flicker of annoyance dancing in his eyes. He had been engrossed in the midst of a lesson, the wisdom of his teachings flowing effortlessly until interrupted.
Krona, we find ourselves in the midst of a crucial lesson. The interruption is untimely.
Krona's eyes gleamed with understanding, the weight of her father's authority evident in her response.
I comprehend the inconvenience, but it is not my will that determines the matter.
Sero sighed, his features reflecting a mix of resignation and respect for the commanding presence of T.A.V.A.D.
T.A.V.A.D. Very well, Carey. We shall continue our studies on tomorrow.
Carey's young voice broke through the tension, curiosity tinged with innocence.
Teacher Sero, is it true that Uncle Zeno met his demise as a hero?
Sero paused, a nostalgic gleam in his eyes as he delved into the tales passed down through generations.
I did not witness those events firsthand, young Carey, but the whispers of my ancestors' ancestor tell of Zeno's valiant deeds, his unwavering bravery in the face of adversity. He fought for his people like a hero whose name remained unknown to the world. Yet, The precise circumstances of his final moments remain a mystery. If you seek the truth, my child, ask your father, for he was present in that fateful battle.
Carey's brow furrowed in contemplation, his young mind grappling with the enigma of his uncle's heroism and the unanswered questions that lingered.
Teacher Sarah, my father rarely reveals such details to me. The stories of the past seem to be locked away in his heart.
The room fell into a thoughtful silence, the weight of untold history hanging in the air. The flickering candlelight cast dancing shadows upon the walls, creating an ambiance of intrigue and secrets waiting to be unveiled. It was a moment that would linger in Carey's memory, fueling his desire to uncover the truth hidden within the depths of his family's past. Crona takes her brother from the temple, and settling him on her battle horse, a Dan's breed, rides towards the majestic castle of Dans, amidst the sound of rain. Carey sits in front and, displeased with the interrupted lesson, gazes into the distance.
Are you sulking again?
Carey looked up, his youthful eyes shimmering with curiosity.
Nah, sis. Just wanted to know a bit more about Uncle Zeno.
Crona leaned back in her chair, contemplating the question.
Got it. Did you learn something new today?
Carey nodded eagerly, his youthful enthusiasm evident.
Yes, for sure. For example, did you know that Hera commanded our grandfather to rise against Hishas?
Crona raised an eyebrow, captivated by Carey's thirst for knowledge.
Did Sero tell you that?
Carey nodded again, his voice filled with excitement.
Of course.
Crona couldn't help but smile at her younger brother's eagerness to share what he had learned.
And what else did he tell you?
Carey's eyes lit up as he animatedly recounted the tales he had heard.
That our uncles were the ones who defeated all the Titans.
Crona nodded, her pride for Carey shining through. Carey's expression turned resolute, his young voice brimming with determination.
I want to become just as strong someday.
Crona gently patted Carey's shoulder, feeling the innocence and determination radiating from him.
You will, my little brother. You will.
Carey pauses for a couple of seconds, lost in thought. Crona, a figure of strength and wisdom in Carey's eyes, couldn't help but share in his brother's uncertainty. She gazed into the distance, her eyes searching the horizon as if seeking solace in the vastness of the world. As the siblings continued their ride, their trusty steeds carried them forward with rhythmic grace. The sound of hooves against the earth provided a steady beat, harmonizing with their thoughts and emotions. A gentle breeze swept through the fields, carrying with it the scent of wildflowers and distant memories. It was as if nature itself was whispering secrets, offering a sense of comfort amidst the unknown. Yet despite the beauty of their surroundings, Carey couldn't shake the ache in his heart. It had been weeks, months even, since their mother had left, and the emptiness of her absence loomed like a shadow over their lives.
Crona, there's one thing I can't understand. When will Mom return? It's been such a long time.
If only I could know.
Crona halts the horse.
Here we are. Home.
Crona stands before the majestic and somber castle of Danes, immersed in ancient darkness and draped in a cover of green moss. The castle looms before her like a gigantic dark creature, slumbering in its sanctuary, guarded by stone walls. The sheer size of the castle is staggering. Time and battles have distorted the stone walls, imbuing them with the power of the past and the secrets they hold. Every stone, every tower, and every intricately patterned architectural detail appears as grim witnesses of bygone centuries consumed by the cold breath of death. Enormous gates, bearing sinister runes, greet Crona with a silent challenge. They seem like gates to uncharted dark depths, where a bloody dance of fear and ruthlessness plays out. The castle breathes and gazes upon her through the guards carved into the walls, their skulls reflecting the fierceness of dragons, dursurks, and other creatures encountered by ancient warriors of Dans. These skulls, marked with red stains and eye sockets, seem to scream a warning of the sinister power that rests within the castle. The castle of Danes is dark and mysterious, its contours concealed in dense shadows, and its ancient walls guarding forgotten secrets and ominous mysteries. It stands before Krona, evoking a mixture of awe and curiosity, as if drawing her into its depths, ready to unveil ancient enigmas and present stern trials. Carrie dismounts from the horse and passes by the guards, entering the castle. As he passes a massive table laden with food, he grabs a bun for himself and starts biting into it. Krona follows him, looking at him with a tender smile, hiding the pain in her eyes. She slowly approaches Tivad, kneeling before him. Tivad, seated on his throne, is adorned in exquisite Danian attire. His robe, made of fine fabrics, gleams in the light, creating an impression of elegance. The cloak, embellished with golden embroidery, accentuates his shoulders and noble lineage. A belt adorned with magical symbols grants him strength and protection. Tall boots, adorned with precious gemstones, complete his ensemble. All of this reflects his high status and grandeur. Carrie stared at his father in awe, his young mind grappling with the weight of the words spoken. The room fell silent, the air heavy with anticipation and responsibility. He couldn't help but feel a mix of pride and apprehension at the thought of inheriting such immense power. Tivad gently brushed his hand through Carrie's hair, a soft smile playing on his lips. The moment was both tender and profound, a rare glimpse into the bond between father and son. Carrie's eyes wandered to his sister Krona, who stood at a distance, her expression unreadable. She had always been the strong one, the protector and guide in his life. Now her presence seemed even more significant, a pillar of support in this sea of uncertainty. Tivad's gaze softened, his eyes shifting between Carrie and Krona.
My children, power is a delicate and dangerous gift. It can either unite or divide. It is true that your brothers may feel a pang of disappointment, but they will understand the responsibility that rests upon Karei's shoulder.
Carrie looked up at his father, his young eyes filled with determination.
I will honor your trust. I will honor your trust, Father. I will learn and grow so that one day I can wield this power for the greater good of our people.
Tivad's smile widened, a glimmer of pride shining in his eyes.
That is my son. Remember, Karei, true strength lies not in the power itself, but in how it is wielded.
The room was enveloped in a renewed sense of purpose, the weight of their legacy mingling with the hope for a better future. As Carey sat nearby his father, he felt the warmth of his family's love and support, intertwining with the destiny that awaited him.
Anything else that I can be useful now, Father?
Tivad stares directly into Krona's face with a cold gaze.
Understood. Understood.
Krona leaves the room.
Come closer, son.
Carey approaches his father. The latter takes him and seats him on his lap.
All these lands hold the power of the gods. Someday I will pass them on to you.
Why not to the other brothers?
Son, you know that in your flows not only my special blood, but also that of your mother, who comes from ancient lineage. That makes you the most fitting candidate to receive the power of the gods. When the time comes, you will surpass me in strength. I can feel it.
May I ask you a question?
Go ahead, ask.
Teacher Sierra mentioned that there were 4 brothers.
Watch your question.
I know Uncle Gideon, and I also know Uncle Zeno, who died in the Battle of Moriagel. But where's the other one? And could you please tell me how Uncle Zeno died, please, Dad?
We will talk about it another time.
But why?
Son.
Carey lowers his head. Tivad, sitting on the throne, assumes the same expression as Yedor in the Tower of Azure. His eyes reflect determination and strength, evidence of his unwavering will, reminiscent of Yedor's. Slowly his gaze shifts, and in his field of vision appears the severed head of Glick lying on the floor. 2 guards, synchronously and decisively, lift his lifeless body, removing it from the throne room. Each of their movements is filled with confidence and determination, as if they bear the burden of a fallen warrior.
Your emperor was a foolish one, unable to comprehend the inevitable. Go and inform his family that his divine power will still be passed down to a member of his bloodline. I have no need for it. Whoever they choose, I will recognize as the Emperor of the Kirks.
With all due respect, my lord, Gello will not take the murder of his father lightly, just like I once.
Then your fate and your empire's fate will suffer the same end as Gleck's.
I will do everything to carry out your will, Lord Emperor.
Listen carefully, everyone. Return to your empires. Prepare your best gifts and add-ons. You will learn what to do next before departing tomorrow. In the meantime, enjoy the hospitality of Azor.
Amazis and Sitar briefly exchange glances. Its streets with mysterious shadows and veils of darkness. On the outskirts of the city, in the dim light of lanterns, a brothel is located, a place where destinies intertwine in the hours when the city falls asleep. The door of the brothel creaks as a mysterious figure enters. Inside, the scent of debauchery and temptation lingers. Dazzling candles cast playful lights and shadows on the walls, creating an air of mystery and allure in the rooms. Whispers and subdued laughter echo through the corridors. Veiled women gracefully move between rooms, their faces shrouded in secrecy, resembling night spirits ready to fulfill the most intimate desires of the visitors. In one of the softly lit rooms, two lovers become entwined in the embrace of passion and forbidden pleasures. Passionate sighs and whispered words create an intimate symphony that gets lost in the dark corners of the brothel. Gradually, the light from the remaining two candles burns brighter, revealing the faces of the lovers. Amazis engages in passionate lovemaking with multiple women, including Sitara and courtesan Rhea. Between Sitar and Amazis, a passionate embrace ensues as their bodies merge in a continuous motion of desire. Sitar firmly squeezes her breasts, relishing the powerful and precise movements of Amazis, who remains focused and determined. Sitar, surrendering to her desires, places her right foot on Rhea's head while passionately pressing against the bed. This act of intimate bondage intensifies their mutual passion and ecstasy. With each movement, Sitara and Amazis passionately indulge in each other, reaching new heights of pleasure. At the peak of their passion and pleasure, Amazis climaxes inside Sitar, immersing himself in sweet and secret satisfaction. After the frenzy of passion, they lie in the middle of the two women, feeling the rush of bliss and happiness. The cloud of their shared pleasure envelops their bodies as they immerse themselves in a world of satisfaction, surrounded by allure.
Girl, bring us some wine.
Yes, mistress.
Rhea leaves the room.
I was irresistible, wasn't I?
You're far, far, far from your brother.
We're all far from him. But the dead cannot be resurrected anymore.
Finish off the whores.